Hello, my name is Erica. I'm from Therapeutic Health Services, and today I'm going to talk to you about negative core beliefs. Negative core beliefs are beliefs that we have about ourselves that are negative. It's easy enough. There's a couple ways that negative core beliefs happen. Sometimes when we're young, we are told that we have negative core beliefs. We're told that we're not good enough or we're not smart enough. Sometimes we're told, stop crying, shut up, I'll give you something to cry about. And then we also have the negative core beliefs that happen because of things that we did, choices that we made in our lives that make us feel not so great about ourselves. And so we end up having this inner dialogue about ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm always going to be this way. And the negative core beliefs create a belief which then alters the way we think about things. The way we think about things changes the way we feel about things, which in turn creates a reaction. And so I'm going to show you guys how it works, and then we'll talk some more about how to start getting out of the negative core beliefs. So I'm going to kind of go through with the water. So if you'll see here, I've got these little waters. This is one drop of water. That basically, we have one drop of water, and this created this redness. And if you look at a negative core belief, all it takes is one negative belief that we have about ourselves. And we'll do the biggest one that we have. I'm always going to be this way. Especially in addiction, we start to think that we're never going to change. It's always going to be the same. And the funny things about people is we want so desperately to be right. And so we will create situations in our lives that will then prove us right. So that might be why if we don't feel good about ourselves, we'll get in relationships with people that make us feel bad about ourselves. That way we can say, see, I'm right. And so if we take this water, and if all we need is we have all of this water, I think it's a gallon. I'm not sure, my daughter bought it for me. So we have a gallon of water here. And so all we need is a couple negative beliefs. And so let's look at them that are really common in addiction. I'm never going to get better. That's one. So you can kind of see it creeping down. I don't know if you can in this. I'm never going to change. Then you have the other one of I don't deserve to be happy because of everything I've done. We'll give that another drop. And then we also have a really common negative belief, which is I'm worthless. And then we also have that I'm a bad person. So that is 5 drops of water. So all we have to do is just kind of shake it up. And these are 5 beliefs. And it's red. We've created red water. We've created this negative core belief about ourselves. And the thing that we end up doing is we end up where there's a couple choices that we have. Is now we have this. We're decided that we're going to get better. We all decide we're going to get better. The thing about these negative beliefs is that we take them on. Like let's say our whole life we've been told you're just like your father. And your father is an addiction and he took off and he's kind of a bastard. So if we have that belief, all of a sudden that becomes our identity. And so we have to start working at changing that. And there's certain things that we do. So if we continue to have that inner dialogue of I'm just this person, I'm unlovable, I'm undeserving, I'm always going to be this way, what we end up doing is we end up taking this empty jug and we stick red water in it. And that's not what we want to do. We don't want to do that because now this is turning into red. And what ends up happening is we will verbalize and we'll say, I deserve better. I'm a person who deserves health, wealth, and happiness. We go through all of those things, but we don't seek to internalize them. And the challenge with that is all it takes is if we put that one negative belief into ourselves, I'm going to put 2 drops in here. I'm never going to change, and I'm always going to be this way. Well, we can put 4 things of clear water, and this is still going to be red. Look, it's still red, even with all that good that's happening. And so what will happen is eventually, if we fill this up, and I don't have enough containers to fill this up, but when we're choosing to get better, that's what we have to do. We cannot use the red water because all we will get is red water. We have to continually pump in clear water. We have to then take these beliefs that we have and we have to challenge them. That's how we start to combat negative core beliefs. There's some good news with negative core beliefs, is that they're completely within our power to change, because it's the beliefs that we have about ourselves. And we do that by experiencing new things, by challenging ourselves, by having conversations with different people, by beginning to understand who we are and where we come from. And it's tough because it takes a lot of work. But the reality with negative core beliefs is that they happen over a long period of time. If you grew up in a family that has dysfunction, you're gonna have your whole life of negative beliefs. There's very, very common family roles that are not healthy, like the very first four: don't talk, don't trust, don't feel. Family business stays in the family. That automatically says your feelings don't matter, don't talk to people about what's really going on, and keep everything right here. And so it creates a system of where we're not able to reach out, we're not able to look at things. So that can take years. Then we have addiction, and unfortunately, addiction can take a lot of our time. It can cause us to be in active addiction for 10, 20, 30 years, and we're not going to get better overnight. It takes hard work, and it takes a bunch of this clean bottles of water where we have to start thinking about, what am I telling myself? What am I saying? And it's so easy to go back to that red, because all we need is we're feeling good, things are going great, and then all of a sudden life happens. We miss the bus, our shoes are wet, we're not able to get on our favorite TV show, it's a rerun, and all we have is that, see, why do I even bother? Why do I even try? And then we get this. It's one drop, and it's red again. And so we have to have awareness that our thoughts and the way we think about ourselves and what we believe, it drives us into our abilities. It drives us into thinking that we're not good enough. It drives us into thinking that we're never going to change. And it causes us to set up a set of situations to make that statement true. So even now I have red food coloring all over me now. It's hard to get off. But that's how it is with our negative beliefs, is that they stick with us. And it takes active work in order to change that. One of the most important things that you can do for your recovery is you can start to think about yourself in a different way and start to create new beliefs about yourself. If all you do is think the same old nasty negative stuff about you and slap on some window dressing, it's not going to make a difference. You have to start understanding who you are as a person and finding your value. And it sounds a little hokey, and some of you are going to think, I am not doing that. But one of the best ways to start identifying positive core beliefs is to start doing daily positive affirmations. And I'm not talking about, you're beautiful, it'll be okay. I mean real positive affirmations. Positive affirmations such as, no feeling is final. I am stronger than anything I'm feeling right now. I am a person that deserves to be happy. I am a person of value. That's how we start to create a new dialogue, because what we tell ourselves, it bleeds out. And here's the other thing, is this is really heavy, so I'm gonna try to lift it up. Where'd my cover? Anyway, so I'm gonna do the heavy one. Is I can see through this. It's red, but I can see through it. But everything I see is now red. And it kind of gives it a little bit of a Dracula feel, and everything looks not so great through the red. If this is the inner dialogue that's going through my head, that means that whatever someone says to me, I look at it through a red lens, and I might look at it as anger, as shame, as fear, and I don't want to do that. I want to have a different viewpoint. I want to see it through a different light. I want to see it through a different color. And it's a extremely long, diligent daily process where every day you have to make a choice. You have to decide whether or not you're going to fill yourself up with red or you're going to fill yourself up with clear. The water will get clear. Eventually, it will get clear. I think I did this one time, like years and years ago, and I think that it was 5 drops of water. It took us 10 gallons to get it to run clear. I don't remember, it was years ago. But it eventually starts to fade. It becomes this way. It starts to get clearer and clearer and clearer, but we have to continue to do it. We have to continue to do that. It's an everyday thing. It's one of the things when we talk about recovery and you're working a daily program. One of the things that you have to do daily, and what can be a part of your program, is the way you talk to yourself, being attentive, being mindful, practicing those positive affirmations, telling yourself, because if you tell yourself that you're good enough, and if you tell yourself that you're deserving, you start to believe it. The other thing that starts to happen is we teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves. And so if we start to treat ourselves in a good way, in a positive way, we will start to attract those people into our lives. And we'll start to say, if you're going to talk to me that way, if you're going to be a part of my life, then this is how you treat me. We don't teach people to treat us like dirt bags. That's not what we want to do. So we have to start taking the lead. How we talk to ourselves, how we talk to other people, how we view the world is all the way that we gather information and then put it out into the universe. And I know that sounds like a little bit Oprah-ish, and I'm sorry, but that is how it is. We have to start being responsible for ourselves. We can't change the past. We can't change how we grew up. We can't change the things that we did. What we have right now is in this moment. And I'm hoping that all of you take the moment to practice self-care, to practice self-love, to practice having these positive thoughts about yourself and positive beliefs, because eventually it becomes easy, it becomes a pattern, and it doesn't become this weird foreign concept. It becomes your everyday life. And when you start to have that belief, then you start to think, I got this. When life is falling down around your ears, rather than thinking like, well, F it, I might as well go get high, then you think, oh, I know how to deal with this. I'm stronger than this. And we move forward. That's the idea, is for us to always to be moving forward. So there's a lot of evidence that we have to look at, and it takes effort. But negative core beliefs, we don't want to have red water. It takes a lot of effort. What we have to do is we have to start looking at who we are as people and right now in this moment. And are you living the best version of yourself? Because you have that choice. You have the choice of either being like, I can do this or I can do that. No, you don't have a choice. In order to live and be a person that's constantly in that place of growth and moving forward, you have to choose to believe in yourself, and you have to choose to start talking to yourself like you're a winner, because you are. Okay, so bye. Thank you guys.